if you feel like you should have money, but like don't, this is what you do to solve that problem. First of all, go read Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5. It'll tell you something like this. The plans of a person's heart are like deep waters, but a person of understanding draws them out. So here's what you're going to do. I don't have money. Why don't I have money? Where did my money go? We're going to figure out where our money went. We're going to draw it out and gain absolute clarity on this. That's the plan. Here's exactly how you do that with your finances. Open up your bank account, grab a pen and grab a paper. Yes, grab a pen and a paper physically. You could do this digitally, but do it physically. Trust the process here. Okay, so here's what you do now that you have your pen, paper, and your bank account in hand. You open your bank account and you scroll until you find the income that you made this past month. And so at the top of your page, you're just going to write income. And you're going to write it out. You're going to go paycheck 1, pay 1, let's say it was like, $1,300. Paycheck 2, you're going to say, also like $1,200 or something. Let's just make pretend. Paycheck 2. And you're going to add them up. That's your income. So that's like 2,500. That's $2,500 a month. Cool, you're doing fine. And so now you know how much you made last month. Like how much money actually came into my possession, into my bank account because of the work that I did or whatever over the course of the last month, calendar month. Now here's the fun part. Underneath that, you're gonna write expenses. Expenses. That might not be how you spell that. Whatever. Total in. Okay. Now for your expenses, here's the fun part. You have to follow with me. If you don't, trust the process. If you don't do it, it's not gonna work. Trust the process. You're gonna go up to the first page, or you're gonna go up to the first transaction that you had in the calendar month that we're looking at, where you had this income. Now we're gonna look at where did it go. Here's how you're gonna do it. Go to that first transaction and write it out. Go to the second transaction and write it out. The third transaction, write it out. And do so for the entire month that we're looking at. Oh, but I don't want to do it. Okay, then you don't want to know where your money went. Because look, if you just, literally, if you will just pay attention to where your money goes, most of your problems will solve themselves, financially speaking. I just work, this is what I do. I work with people and I help them solve this exact problem. Because everyone knows how to do this, they just don't freaking do it. And so, for the love of God, just do the thing. Look, if you will do this, you will find that most of your money probably goes out to eating out. And so whenever you're writing this, kind of categorize out in a way that makes sense to you. You have your food, for example, and you have eating out. Let's say you go to McD's, McDonald's, right? Let's say you go to Cane's is good. Let's say you go out to a nice restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And it's just all food. And so you have, $13 here, $15 here, $30 here, whatever. All right, and then you have your housing, right? You have, let's say you're paying rent, you're only making $25 a month, or what, $2,500 a month. So let's say your rent is $700, right? Let's just say you're living together with people. And then you have your utilities that you're responsible for. Let's say you're responsible for $150 in utilities, right? And then you have your insurance. Let's say $300 total. Let's say your where's your money going? Let's say your car, right? Or just for transportation in general, you have gas. Maybe you put aside some for maintenance or whatever. Let's say your gas is $120. Let's just say. And so now, what you do is you just do the math. And so here, for example, that would be that would be $58 there. Freaking $850 here. And there's for sure going to be other categories, but just where does your money actually go? Because the problem you're having is, I feel like I should have some. Why don't I have some? Well, we're about to Scooby-Doo this mystery, friends. This is how you do it. Write out every single transaction by hand, and you will gain absolute clarity as to where it went. And so here's what you're going to find. You're going to find several things. But you're either going to find that you have money, you spent less than you made, and so therefore you have some left over, or you don't have money, meaning that like you spent more than you made, which just means that you don't have any. But now you at least have clarity as to why you don't have any. Because otherwise, here's what happens. It all lives in our head. And if it lives in your head, it doesn't count. Because it's not reality. Because here's the thing. Like, if you're stressed out about something, that happens because in your mind, you're taking your reality and you're extrapolating it out and making it a lot bigger than it actually is. But if you get it out of your head, make it something that you can actually look at and see, what happens is it becomes not this big giant monster. What happens is it becomes the thing that it actually is. And you look at it and you're like, that's what I'm afraid of? Or it just becomes more manageable. You're like, okay, that's what I'm afraid of. But at least I can now I at least know what I'm afraid of. Instead of not knowing what I'm afraid of, right? And that works wonders. Because here's the thing. Here's the fascinating thing about fear. Fear itself is afraid. And it's afraid of turning on the lights. Like, you ever notice how there's monsters under your bed, but as soon as you turn on the lights, they're not there anymore? That's what this does. So if you're stressed out about your money, and you're like, I don't have any, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like I should, but I don't. I don't know where it went. Do this exercise. Write out your income, like the numbers on a piece of paper at the top. Underneath that, write out your expenses. And then subtract the two. Or just add up all your expenses, add up all your income, and then take those numbers and subtract them. And what you're going to get is, well, it's either going to be positive or it's going to be negative. If it's exactly zero, then cool, you walked a fine line. But you spent everything that you made. And that's not the situation you want to be in. So, now you at least know where your money actually went. And that's the point of this exercise, to gain absolute clarity on the matter. This is turning on the lights. And what happens when you turn on the lights is the monsters run and hide. They find somewhere else to hide. Somewhere that isn't under your bed. They go to someone else's bed, I guess. So yeah, that's how you do that. Again, go read Proverbs. It's a good book. Would recommend. And I hope this helped you gain absolute clarity on your finances and help you decrease your stress. Also breathe. Now you can clarity. All right. Hope this helped. I'll see you in the next one.